What's up, YouTube? Today I am getting a colonic. Right now I'm in my room, I'm getting prepped. My therapist told me to empty my bladder first and hop up on this table from the waist down, and then she'll be back. And after that I finish telling you about my experience. But right now I'll show you the room that I'm in right now. Check this out, guys. Here's my toilet. Exciting. Okay guys, I just finished my colonics and oh my god, so refreshing. So what she did, she put a tube inside of me that connected to this device that actually we did a combination of filling and releasing, and it was a little cramping, you know, as the water went in. And she told me, you know, if it gets too uncomfortable, just let her know. And she would turn the water off, and then I would release. We kind of watched the stuff go through the tube, and she was explaining the consistency of the particles. Some of the particles were big, some were small, which kind of indicated that I wasn't chewing properly, and I was a little dehydrated as I came in today. Yeah, I was kind of under the weather and I just wasn't eating properly. So last night was a struggle. Then this morning it was just like I got up late, but later than normal, I should say. I'm normally up around 4 or 5 o'clock. Today I got up around 10. I had to be here at 1, just getting myself mentally prepared for this. And it was awesome. It took about 30-ish or probably more to do the whole process. I just got finished. I had to step into another room because another client is coming into this room, and I will further break it down to you, the whole process, and I'll tell you exactly why I chose to do this. But yeah, stay tuned. Okay, now guys, I'm in the second room. I'm totally finished with my colonics. It wasn't bad. You know, there were times where I did experience some cramping, but that was just the water filling my intestines. It was filtered water, it was warm, so it wasn't a big shock. Oh my god, I feel so refreshed. I lost about 1 pound. Mind you, I didn't weigh. You know, I kind of did eat before I came in here, so I was kind of empty anyway. This place here is close to my home. It only costs $55 cash and $60 credit or debit card. So for that price, it was definitely rewarding. I feel very relieved, both physically and mentally. And I did this because, as you know, I do compete. I'm getting ready for a show in a few months, so I had a few cheat meals. So you know, I had to come and relieve all that. You know, I don't really like taking laxatives because you don't need it. So I thought this was a better choice for me, and I'm glad I did it. I will give you more information on this particular spa that I went to. It is private owned, so, and it has a very home-like feel. Oh my goodness, guys, it's so beautiful here, and it smells good. And throughout this session, she was in there the whole time with me, you know, kind of guiding me through the process. We had sage going and music playing, and therapy music playing in the background, and it was so refreshing. I feel new, and yes, what a relief. Thank you. Okay guys, I'm back from my colonics. I'm back at home, and it was everything. And I'm gonna kind of walk you through the process. So when I first got there, we went over my paperwork. I actually filled my paperwork out at home. You know, just a briefing about making sure that I was healthy enough to actually get this procedure done, and I was. Kind of explained to her my diet for the last 3 days prior to today, and everything was a go. Now before I came here, I made sure I kept my diet light. I tried to stay hydrated, although she said I was a little dehydrated, which bad for me, right? Okay, but anyway, we still went on with it. She had me go back to the actual therapy room where I was actually going to get the colonics. And when I first walked in, it was a very home-like atmosphere. And the spa itself is a house pretty much that's been turned into a spa, which is awesome. So I get back to the room. She had me to relieve myself, make sure my bladder was empty, because if I had a full bladder, it would be very uncomfortable as she injected the water into my colon. And I'll explain that in a second. So after I emptied my bladder, she had me get dressed. She left the room, had me get dressed from the waist down. I got on a table, and she came back in the room. She explained the process again, and she kind of, every time she did something different, she let me know. So she had me turn over on my left side, and she injected this tube into my bum. And that was the tube is actually connected onto another machine, and she turned the water on. The water was injected into my colon, and that water, it was room temperature. It wasn't fast, it was slowly injected. And once it got inside my colon, what it was doing, it was actually softening my stool. And when it got too uncomfortable, which I can feel it, my abdomen cramping up a little bit, she would turn the water off and my body would naturally relieve itself. And we did that back and forth in between for 30-40 minutes. And in between her turning the water off, she would also massage my abdomen to kind of push everything and make sure everything was getting out. And on the little machine that it was connected, it was a part that was clear that I can actually see all my relief going through, and she was kind of explaining to me why it looked like this and why it looked like that and why it should look like this and why it shouldn't look like that. So that was pretty cool to see. And towards the end of the session, everything was coming out very clear, very light. And after that, you know, she told me to, you know, she left out the room, and I got off the table and went again to relieve myself, and it was a lot. And afterwards, you know, I got myself together, and she actually told me, you know, I can go into another bathroom and I can stay in there as long as I wanted to. And that was pretty much the procedure. It was so great, and I felt very relieved. And like I say, the cramping was minimum. You know, women, some of us cramp every month anyway. It kind of felt like that, but it wasn't that intense. And like she said, when it gets too uncomfortable, let her know she to turn the water off, and that's what she did with me. But once she turned the water off, the cramping will go away, and of course it'll come back when she turned the water back on. So that was the only thing, and it wasn't too unbearable. I had a good time. I felt really relieved, like physically, mentally relieved after this session. And it only costs $55 cash and $60 if you were paying with a credit or debit card, and it was well worth it. I did this because I'm actually prepping for a show that I have later on this year, and I had a few cheat meals, so I was just kind of make sure everything was a go down there so I can, you know, get ready for this show. And like I say, yeah, it was a pretty awesome experience, guys. I definitely encourage you to do it if you just want that cleanse, you know, that instant cleanse. And afterwards, you know, I continue to keep my diet light. The only thing I had so far was some water. Make sure I stay hydrated and just keep it light for like 24 hours. Make sure you stay away from fried foods, any white like breads and stuff like that. And what else? Any gassy foods, you know, your broccoli and asparagus. That would be a good idea to do. But yeah, feels really good. Oh, and my weight. I didn't see that big of a difference in my weight. Like I said, I came this morning on my scale here at the house. I was about 123. That was bare minimum, you know what I mean. And I think coming home I was about 120-ish. And I came on the kind of an empty stomach anyway, so, but it's not all about the weight, it's all about how I feel, and I feel amazing. And I would share the information to the actual spot that I went to. If you're in my area and you think about going, I would definitely leave that at the bottom. So thank you guys for watching. Please, if you haven't already, like this video, subscribe to this video, and just share your experience if you ever had one before or you're thinking about it. You know, if I can answer some questions, I will, or you know, I find the answer for you. But please, thank you, and I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Bye.